So again, good morning. Well, good afternoon to everybody. To some of you, it's good morning. Again, we appreciate you being with us for another sophisticated Sunday as we continue to educate you and guide you and lead you on this journey with more and additional information. So again, thank you for being here with us because it's a lot of places you could have been, but you chose to be here. So now we're going to go into the announcements. Priestess Oshun Funke sponsors the Oshe Ifa every first and third Sunday of the month. This teaches us about Ifa and the Yoruba culture. So I would advise everyone to go and attend those. It's very informative and information that she gives you. And while you are in attendance, please come with cola nut, gin, and a love offering. We all know what a love offering is, so we don't need to go into any further explanation for that. Also, the School of African Magic is now open, and that website is www.schoolofafrican, and again, that's AFRICAN magic.com. So, School of African Magic. There are many courses on the site that you can take, and some examples of those courses are magical herbalism, bone reading, along with prayer crafting. You can also learn about the Orisha, the Loa, and so much more. There's hundreds of hours of content available to you for your learning. So again, there's no excuses because there is a variety and array of information available to you to continue in this learning process. The Black Spectrum Network and the Vodou Institute websites are now up and running. Yay! So you can go to these websites and you can purchase some of the following: your ancestral life path reading. Wonderful, wonderful thing to take care of. I promise you, you get your ancestral life path reading, it will give you a lot of information to get you headed in the right direction to bring ease into your life for a variety of reasons, depend on what you need to clear up on your life's journey, as well as the Ori life path reading and full moon readings. And those websites are blackspectrumnetwork.com and voodooinstitute.com. Again, that's blackspectrumnetwork.com and voodooinstitute.com. Also, we have our very own Priestess Munze Say. She has a divination class coming up, a free divination class on March 21st at 7 p.m. With this class, you will learn how to conduct divinations using a 7-card spread. You will receive hands-on assistance with your divination. You will be able to attend this class by going to Black Spectrum. Well, you will go to the following to sign up for the class: blackspectrumnetwork.com/course. A replay of this will be available. I will throw in there, Munze Say, she's the business. She is the truth. You will learn a lot from her, and that's no fluff in that. She the business when it comes to this reading game. So again, that course will be on March 21st. That is that is this coming Sunday. So that's March 21st at 7 p.m. So again, you will be using the 7-card spread. This spread will tell you everything you would need to know. And again, this is free. So I would advise everyone to take advantage of this. This opportunity does not come around a lot for you to get this information free. So those are the announcements. We are about to head into prayer and communion. So I'm going to give everyone a minute or so to go grab your offerings if you don't already have them with you. We will be using strawberry and rum as your offering. I know for some of you it's early, so you can grab your water or what you have available, but the suggestion is rum and strawberry. So we'll give you a moment to go grab your rum and strawberry, and then we will head into prayer and communion. Tay, yes, that will be 7 p.m. Eastern. Kugan Oshun is in the waiting room. Okay, so I'm gonna take it everyone has gotten their rum and their strawberry. So we're gonna go ahead and head on into prayer. I come to you today, Loa and ancestors that walk with us, that guide us and protect us, and say thank you for allowing us to wake up to another day of breath in our body, to keep the cycle of life going. I come to you in repentance and say forgive us when we have caused harm to others, knowingly and unknowingly, and allow us to have forgiveness in our hearts of those who have caused harm to us, knowingly and unknowingly. We ask you to continue to be with us today, to guide us, to protect us, to lead us, to give us another day to get that right that we got wrong the day before, the hour before, and the minute before. Continue to be with us and allow us to grow on this journey that we call life. To allow us to get messages that are given to us, give us clear signs so that we can see messages provided to us to get and grow in the way in which we need to. We know this is so, as your word is law. As always, aye, bobo. So now we will get our strawberry or what fruit you have access to and take a bite. And now grab your drink and take your drink. Ooh, I poured a lot this morning, trying to get right. So now, So now we will head into our reading sector with our wonderful priestesses who always bring us the business with that great word we need to take us forward with guidance. And we're going to get started today with our monthly reading from Monday Say.
Thank you. Can you? Okay. Thank you for that wonderful prayer. Um, I asked Bosu to give a message today. And normally, he basically says what he wants to say, talks about what he wants to talk about. And this message, it was unexpected, but he was talking about working with our ancestors. He was talking about the men that you're waiting on and binding magic. So Lil Susie on Facebook and her binding spells impacts the rate at which you are able to couple, and the ancestors are really trying to correct some of the mistakes that we have made when we didn't seek their wisdom first. So the message was to seek the ancestors first. Seek them before doing magic. Seek them before going to your friends to talk about your relationship. So he talked about how there were too many souls in a marriage. And that's taking things out of balance. And basically, it goes back to not seeking the ancestors. He also emphasized how you're not getting everything out of your relationships because you're not seeking your male ancestors to help you with the problems that you're having. And you're not getting everything out of the lifestyle change that you could have, that this situation could bring to your life, because you're not working with your male ancestors to navigate some of the problems that you may be having in your relationship. Your first go-to, instead of your friends, should be your male ancestors when you're having those problems. And they want you to invest in your ancestral treasury. I guess, not going to them and not working with them is causing you to not have the type of level of investment into building your treasury that you should have. And especially he's talking about the male ancestors and their importance in your relationships. He's talking about their importance in raising a collective consciousness, solving problems. There are special spiritual gifts that you're not accessing when you don't work with your male ancestors. And this is getting to the point where historically we have left them out when we consider them as far as relationships and magic. So what he's saying is that your husbands, the men that you are waiting on, are bound. And it's dangerous. It's dangerous to do this type of magic. People are having issues in their relationships, issues in their families. And now, instead of seeking the ancestors to heal them, they're trying to detach from the ancestors because of a family issue. And so what he's saying is that when you detach from your ancestors, that's also dangerous. And it's dangerous to it's dangerous to you, it's dangerous to the collective. And what he said, what Basu is saying is that working with the ancestors is what is pivotal or important to your transformation, into transforming some of these situations that you think that you can't solve. They're saying that you need to involve spirit and seek spiritual solutions. They have heard the struggles that women are having as far as partnering, and what they're saying is that what is slowing you down are those binding spells or the spells that people have done. And that is the reason why it's taking a lot of the time to partner, especially with Black women. He's talking to the women. He usually does talk to the women. So he's saying, seek your male ancestors, no more unauthorized magic. and work with your male ancestors. This is where your investment needs to be for those women who have marriage in their destiny.
Thank you so much, Monze Say. That was a word. If I could have jumped on the bed, I would have. So, to summarize what she is saying, quit relying on your own understanding. Stop trying to rely on your own understanding because clearly you don't have the answers based on where you are. Your ancestors are there to guide you and again protect you and lead you. But you're getting signs, but the problem is you want to do what you want to do versus listening to what's being told to you and guided to you. And a lot of you all are trying to make something work with a man that you're not supposed to make it work with or even be with. So stop relying on your own understanding and seek guidance from your ancestors, especially your male ancestors. And I know for many people that may be hard because we don't understand true male masculinity in a productive way. Because either you didn't see it, you didn't know it, or you've never been around it. But start seeking guidance and truth from your male ancestors to get comfortable with masculinity. Thank you so much for that word. Next, we have our wonderful protection priestess, Miss Celeste. The floor is yours.
Grand Rising, everybody. How are you? Okay, so for my monthly reading, I went to my Google, and y'all can be disappointed. I'm sorry to bring this to y'all on this early morning, but the first card that came out was Nine of Diamonds. It's actually referring to the stimulus check. Um, for some reason, people are under this holidays like impression that $1,400 is going to fix all the problems that you have. It's not. It's not going to fix months, and I do mean months of debt that you have had. The best thing that you all can do in this particular situation is take that money and flip it and find a productive way to use it. But a lot of people are going to sit here and blow it, and it's going to cause a lot of stress. People are going to be angry. People are under the impression that it's going to bring a lot of peace. It'll bring peace for like maybe a month or two, but it's use y'all's money wisely, y'all. Please use it like adults and don't just go and blow it on shit that you don't need. That was the gist of that card. That's what they wanted y'all to know. For the 10 of clubs, I hear a lack of construction. What do y'all mean? I'm hearing y'all people just not doing what they're supposed to do. To piggyback off of what Monte Say said, like it's people doing whatever it is that they want to do, and they're under the impression that this is going to bring them happiness or peace, and it's just not. You're under the impression that by doing these things that bring you momentary like happiness, these are situations that will sit here and and manifest over time in the way that you want them to, and they're just not. You need to start doing what it is that your peoples are telling you to do. Start following your ancestors and doing what it is that they have already assigned for you to do. Stop chasing behind people that you know you ain't supposed to be with, and stop sleeping with folks that you know you ain't supposed to be fucking. Stop. It needs to stop. That's probably why you broke, why you unhappy, why you miserable or depressed. That's the gist of it. And I'm hearing that it will bring you success if you're able to fix these problems within your life and these personal issues that you may have. The last card that came out is the Two of Hearts. A lot of people's relationships are about to be fucked. A lot of people's relationships are about to be fucked. They're either going to tear y'all's relationships apart because they ain't supposed to be there, or you've been doing something you ain't supposed to be doing, and it's going to come to light at this time. There was just a new moon, I believe, in Pisces last night. Is why last night was so weird. This is about to bring a catastrophic shift to a lot of people and to everybody. And you really need to be concerned about how it is that you're handling it and making sure that your karma and, your situations are the way that they're supposed to be, without you sitting here having to scramble at the last minute because you know that your ancestors are whooping your ass. That was the gist of this reading for this day. Besides bringing stability to your situations, that's it.
Thank you so much, protection priestess. Y'all, what's done in the dark will come to light. Quit feeling like you slick. You're not. You're not. At some point, what you do, right, wrong, or indifferent, it's gonna come up. So again, what's done in the dark will come to the light. What don't come out in the wash, gonna come out in the rinse. So either way it go, it's gonna present itself. So again, your ancestors are talking to you, but you all are so stuck in doing what you want to do, what makes you feel good. You're giving in to your flesh rather listening to your spirit, and you're lacking stability because of it. And learn financial literacy. We all like nice things, but know what your role is within that so you can get to the place where you can have that champagne lifestyle with the champagne budget. So listen to your people. So now we are moving on to our wonderful garden goddess. She is meant to bring us a message and a word for this month. So the floor is yours.
Thank you so much. Good morning, everyone. It's still morning in California, but I went to my ancestors for this message. So excuse me if I'm swaying. That's usually how I get downloads. But we're in the midst of a seasonal change, not only physically, but spiritually. And what I was getting was that many of us went through a disparaging period of trials, many hardships, and even tougher realizations. But they all led us back to the path of self. So the first card that I got was the Magician, which reminds us that you are your greatest asset. You are the trailblazer to your dreams, and use the tools that you have around you and within inside of you to create the path that you want for yourself. Many of you are dwelling on what was back in 2020 still, and it's time for you all to let that go. You're about to have opportunities being opened for you by just using the tools that you have, which is the world. Doors are opening, and this is a season of rebirth and renewal. You are uncovering yourselves to reveal your true power. And many of you aren't taking advantage of it. Many of you are going to be given financial opportunities to really get yourselves out of hardship. And you may not be able to pay all your debts, but you'll be able to pay some of them, but you're not using them wisely. Many of you are using your heart chakra and taking advantage of it to use things that you lust for, not things that you need. So many of you haven't done the work. You haven't done your shadow work. You haven't taken those classes that you need to get educated. You're relying on your desires and not your needs. In order to get right, you have to go within and go to your ancestors. That's really what I got. Yeah, that's it. It was really short and sweet. Thanks, y'all.
Thank you so much, garden goddess. And many of us need to hear that. If you don't love yourself, how you gonna love somebody else? Self-care is so important. If you are so busy chasing behind and running behind someone else, how do you have the time to stop and see your surroundings and take advantage of that is there for you? Again, if you can't take care of yourself, you can't take care of nobody else. If you ain't good to yourself, you can't be good to your kids. You can't be good to anybody else because you're going to see the wrongness in everybody else that you have going on with yourself. That has nothing to do with other people. So take care of yourself, get right with yourself, get in touch with yourself, with your Ori, with your Igugu. Again, all of this is coming back to talk to your ancestors and listen. And now we are moving on to our very own wonderful Monze Soleil for another monthly reading. The floor is yours.
Hi, everybody. I asked my ancestors as well as my Loage Rouge what we need to be aware of right now. And the first card that I got is the Nine of Cups. So a lot of us need to be practicing gratitude. Every time I pull this card, I think about the verse in the Quran that says, the more you thank me, the more I will bless you, right? So a lot of us have had a lot of blessings poured over us, and we're so busy chasing after the next thing, we haven't stopped to express gratitude, to be grateful for what we have, because we're chasing after that 10th cup. So we have to pause, be grateful for what we have, understand, similar to what Whitney was expressing, that we already have everything we need to function, to make things grow for ourselves, to, get further abundance, but we're not stopping and expressing gratitude for what we have. Now, what is the consequence of that? A lot of us are in a 5 of Pentacles energy right now, right? Feeling like we're isolated, feeling like we are in a space of lack, like we don't have, even though there's sanctuary and light and shelter right next to us. We're so wrapped up in this understanding that we don't have enough that we can't acknowledge what it is that we have, right? Now, that can also lead to confusion with the 7 of Cups, right? If we don't stand in our gratitude and acknowledge what we have, acknowledge how far we've come, acknowledge the work we've already put in, when we get new opportunities, that haste and that desperation could put us in a position where we attach ourselves to things that do not align with our highest purpose. They don't serve us. They will actually throw us off of our path, right? So pausing, expressing gratitude for what you have, acknowledging the work that you've put in and how far you've come is extremely essential right now, so that we don't make desperate decisions, right? So we don't convince ourselves that we don't have what we need and attach ourselves to things that are only going to fuck us over in the long run. And that's it.
Thank you so much, Monze Soleil. Again, another word that we all needed. Be grateful for what you have. Look at your own situation, clean up, and live in your own house. Many of you are looking at what your friends have, what your friends are doing, what your friends' next level is, where they're going on vacation. The reality is you don't know what your friend and or family member is putting up with to have that. And you may not be built for that. So look at your space and look at your house and look at what you need for you to grow and be thankful for your growth and continued growth. And half of you can't get where you're going because, like I say, you're too busy looking at someone else. So again, thank you, wonderful ladies, and you all should be very thankful to receive the words of advice and guidance that you have received from this Black Excellence group of women overall and readers. Take advantage of what you have heard, let it digest on your mind, and you should have received some form of growth to move forward with and a plan to work on to move forward with starting this week from what you have heard. So now we are going to move on to our sermon section with our very own wonderful teacher and person that gives us a lot of guidance for several different reasons on many different days, depending on what we all have going on and where our mental space or emotional space is. Hugonzo, who will speak to us today about Danthor and Freda. So we are ready to hear what we need to hear again to continue to learn and to continue to grow. The floor is now yours.
And welcome everybody to Sophisticated Sunday. Today's lecture, we're going to have 2 PowerPoint slides. Unfortunately, you are not going to see a title PowerPoint because I got to get 2 different ones because I had to have a pink one and a blue one and just, yeah. But as you can see, we all dressed in the colors for either Freda or Danthor, as you all should have as well. And we're going to get into the lecture. Let's just share the screen, just 1 second. Okay, so the first, all right. So first things first, talking about Danthor. So when we're talking about the Ezili spirits, we're talking about um, water spirits, water deity. And people typically try to, I mean, you can read uh, African American or Caribbean studies literature, and they'll say that the Ezili are associated with the deity Oshun. Um, I think that's a very lazy connection. I don't totally think that that's applicable because the Ezili manifest in multiple different ways. Okay, and so we're gonna get into the lecture um, in just one moment. Trying to get this slideshow together as usual. All right, so the first we're gonna be talking about Ezili Danthor. Okay, so the Ezili are a family of spirits. They're you could say a species, not even so much as a species, but they're a nation of spirits. And the Ezili spirits are found in Rada, Petra, Petra, either one. And also to a lesser extent, Gede. To a much lesser extent, you can find the Ezili in the Gede Nation. But first, we're going to start with the Petro Nation. Okay. And we're going to start with the Petro Nation because I want to speak about one of the most common loa that you'll see represented and found um, when you're researching Haitian voodoo, and typically you'll see this particular loa. She has a dagger in her hand. She's holding her baby. Sometimes it's Anais, or sometimes it's Tijon, depending on the image that you're observing. Um, and she may or may not have three rings on her hand, but there are different depictions of the Ezili, and we'll be discussing that in just one moment. But this is Ezili Danthor. Okay, she's a feminine spirit in voodoo. Ezili Danthor. Her colors are red and blue. The days that uh, we, acknowledge Danthor or work with Danthor are Tuesday, Wednesday, and Saturday. She's of the Petro family. I know you hear me saying Petro, but I'm used to saying Petra or the Petra. But she's part of the Petro family, um, and she's strongly associated with a Loa named Ogu Ferai, Ferray. That's OGOU Ogu Ferai, Ferray. Um, Now, as far as her elemental affinity, um, she's associated with Earth. Okay, so there is an Ezili Danthor spirit that is associated with the water element, but typically the Ezili spirits are going to be considered forest spirits or earth spirits. Okay, now in the playing cards, Ezili Danthor is going to show up as the Queen of Diamonds or the Queen of Spades because she's the goddess of labor, liberation, money, and she's also the goddess of Black women. Okay, so we need to be very clear that Haitian voodoo has a deity that are patron of Black women specifically. Okay, so moving along. Next slide. Okay. Sorry. So this is what you all needed to know about Danthor. So here it is. You have some of the information here. So in order to relate the Loa Ezili to aspects of um, Haitian culture, we need to analyze the imagery for a second. If you all look at this, it looks like what's known as the Black Madonna. Some people will say it's the Black Mother Mary. And you will see that Danthor is depicted in this way because um, you are seeing images that reflect the colonialized history of Haiti and how Catholic people in particular were colonizing Haiti. And they planted their roots just as the West Africans in Haiti did. The Catholics also planted their roots in Haitian voodoo. And as you can see, the imagery that is used to depict the Loa has evolved in such a way that is very unique to Haitian voodoo. So you'll see Catholic imagery depicting uh, these Loa. Now, the reason that we see the Black Madonna is because it's believed that the Haitian people had, at least been encountered different depictions of the Black Madonna, because basically because Napoleon sent Polish soldiers to fight the Haitians, and those Polish soldiers brought with them the images of the Black Madonna, and the Haitians took that image to represent Danthor. Danthor is understood to be a warrior woman, a fighting woman. She's not dainty. She's again a warrior-like figure. She acts as though she's a protector of women, um, and she's not only a protector of women, but she's also a protector of children, which is why she's typically depicted as holding a child as well. So sometimes you'll see that Ezili, well, this one has one scar on her cheek here. Let me see if I have an image where she has three. Um, let's see, is there an image? None of the images here, but you'll find an image of Ezili Danthor where she has three scars on the side of her cheek, which are indicative of the injuries that she sustained during uh, different fights that she had with her sister Ezili Freda. Okay, so today's sermon is going to be called "What About Your Friends," and we're going to be talking about women that can't get along with other women. Um, so Ezili Freda, no, not Ezili Freda, rather, but Ezili Danthor, collecting another image. Where's the Danthor image? Guess I don't have it. That sucks. Okay, so you'll find some images of Ezili Danthor where she will have three wedding bands on her ring finger. And those wedding bands will indicate her marriages to three different Loa. Dambala, who is the spirit of knowledge and higher consciousness. She's also married to Ogu, the spirit of war, and Agwe, the patron of fishermen, Loa of the sea. Now, if you look at Danthor's Veve, and we have it here, if you look at Danthor's Veve, you'll see that it features a dagger that it features a dagger. And they said that she carried this dagger with her when she went to war during the Haitian Revolution. And it's because of this dagger that they were victorious. Now, these symbols of the heart and the small squares and the knife, not the knife, but the dagger, are used to reference the peace that occurs when somebody lives by the virtues exemplified by Ezili Danthor, which would be, to work hard, to protect women, Black women, and to protect young children. Now, Ezili Danthor is an escort of Loa, meaning that this family is comprised of multiple different Loa. These families of Loa include the Zili family, and the Zili family are the chief escorts of the hierarchy, and that's Zila, Zila. So Ezili Zila, and then you'll have Ezili Map Yang, Mapyang. Map Yang is the patron saint of Haiti. So whenever you see this image of Ezili Danthor, that's Ezili Map Yang, and she'll usually be holding Tijan, the baby Tijan. And so there are a few Loa that Danthor will manifest as, such as Danthor Marionette, who defends oppressed people. Um, you also have Ezili uh, J. Rouge. She's the goddess of jealousy and sincere relationships. Now, Ezili J. Rouge is a jealous. She embodies the energy of jealousy, um, and she watches over people who are in love, and she ensures that those relationships remain sincere. She doesn't. She absolutely abhors deception, and she only wants sincere love. She only wants sincere people to be with other sincere people, because she believes that the only way for two lovers to be bound to one another is for both of them to be sincere to one another. So you have Ezili J. Rouge. She's a love Loa. She's a Loa of love. She promotes sincere love, but she's also a Loa of jealousy as well, because if you're not sincere, where you're out here cheating and creeping, you best believe Ezili J. Rouge is going to show up. She's also known as Ezili Red Eyes. Ezili Red Eyes, Ezili J. Rouge. You have Ezili Cheche, who is she's the goddess of domestic women and goddess of the kitchen. So if you are someone that has a lot of Cancer energy, or you find yourself cooking all the time, you may have Ezili Cheche with you. And then my mom Brigitte is actually a Danthor. Did you know that? Did you know that? So Danthor, the Danthor dies. When Danthor dies, she becomes Bridget. And we know that a Bridget is going to be the first woman to die in the cemetery. Bridget is a goddess of immortality, and she's a keeper of secrets to immortality. She's a keeper of secrets to success. Um, Now, some other things that you all need to know are that Ezili Danthor, you really want to work with her when she hears the prayers of people on Tuesday, meaning she'll listen to you on a Tuesday. But she does work for us on Wednesdays with her husband Ogu, meaning that you'll petition to her on a Tuesday. You can expect her to do some work for you on a Wednesday. We venerate her on Saturday because they say that on Saturday she has the most time to listen to her children. And I also can believe that on Saturday she uses those as her day off. It's on the seventh day the Lord rests. Now, another thing is that we need to be mindful that Ezili Danthor, as well as Ezili Freda, favor people who marry them. They are most comfortable working with people and mounting people that marry them. So you can marry a Loa, and when you marry a Loa, you will commit to certain behavioral and lifestyle changes, and that Loa will bless you with whatever it is that you need, and typically it's going to be financial prosperity. If you all ever wanted to create a Danthor altar, that altar would have, if you would take a blue tablecloth, a blue candle, you will take either a cast iron cauldron or a steel cauldron, and you'll fill it with black castor oil, and you'll create an oil lamp. You can also put red wine on that altar, leave some of your favorite perfume on the altar, particularly Pompeia perfume would be best. Get some nice blue items. Get bottled Florida water. Don't make your own Florida water. Get the bottled Florida water from the store. And golden pineapples. And a photograph of Danthor along with her baby. And although Danthor won't be there, you can venerate her and speak to the essence of her energy, and see what she will be willing to do for you. So when we are thinking about Danthor, we're thinking about a hardworking Black woman that's focused on labor. She's focused on her money. Danthor loves men. Don't get her wrong. She does love men. Um, you will also hear that Danthor is the patron deity for lesbian women. She walks very closely to women who are lesbian, but that doesn't mean that she's the mother to lesbian women. Um, Again, Dantor is extremely popular. She's a spirit that you work with for um, massive amounts of cash. Both she and La Seren. Now, La Seren is another manifestation of Ezili. So La Seren is an Ezili spirit as well. Uh, and so Dantor shares some of those same wealth building magical abilities that La Seren has as well. So we're not going to spend because we have to cover two loa. I have to kind of not so much as breeze through both PowerPoints, but I can only offer but so much information in this lecture, given the a lot of time. So gonna go to another slide, and we are going to now we're going to be talking about Ezili Freda. She is the goddess of love, beauty, sensuality, luxury, and discipline. Okay. Now, Ezili Freda has energy that is similar to Oshun, the Orisha Oshun. Um, Now, Ezili Freda is a water spirit in the Rada family. She's a water spirit, while Dantor is an earth spirit. Um, Ezili Freda is a spirit of African origin. Ezili Dantor is a spirit of Haitian origin. Ezili Freda is of African origin, and she was venerated by the Dahomey people. Um, she represents a pretty young woman. She represents ladies of etiquette, women who have etiquette, women who are sophisticated, women who have a penchant for extravagance, women who care about linguistics and want to mold themselves as aristocrats and upper class women. In the playing cards, Ezili Freda is known as the Queen of Hearts. Her color is pink. Ezili Freda is venerated on Thursday, and you can find Freda's energy near springs of water or bodies of water, and trees that are near springs of water have Freda's energy. Now, Freda is synchronized with the Sacred Heart of Jesus Christ. Um, and there are other synchronizations that are very popular for Freda, but this is one of the most popular ones that we know of. Now, Freda, in her iconography, there is a dagger that runs through Freda's heart. So here it is. You see. So we'll just go back for just a second. Come on. Okay. Here it is. You can see this dagger, beautiful dagger, shooting through Freda's heart, and this dagger is to indicate. It symbolizes agape love. And this dagger that runs through her heart also symbolizes her emotionally fragile nature. She's very needy, um, and she's very sensitive. She is the dagger through the heart also symbolizes her ability to master human emotion despite being hurt, because she's the goddess of love. Now, Freda is the patron of homosexuals and lesbians. She walks very closely to them, and she's not the mother of them, but she walks very closely with them. And because of her even though she's emotionally fragile and tenderhearted, she is not forgiving. She will bother and terrorize um, people who choose to neglect her. So if here's something that you should know. If you work with Dantor, you also have to work with Freda. If you work with Danthor too much, Freda will get jealous. If you work with Freda too much, Danthor will get jealous. But here's another thing you should know. Freda will get jealous, period. Freda requires a lot of attention when you're working with her. Um, so don't neglect her. You can't just start the relationship, ask her for something, and then just leave. Freda wants to continue the relationship on. She gets very attached because she's watery like that. Like the water, Freda's emotions will vacillate. Um, the loa that can get Freda to calm down and get her to be obedient very quickly is the loa ogu. And we know that, um, and the reason that you need to know that is that need to, if you ever need to modify your relationship with Freda so that it can work out better for you, you may want to get Ogu to intervene um, on your behalf, and get and get him to pay attention to Freda, because again, like I said, this is a very needy spirit to work with. Now, when the other thing that you all need to know is that Freda's magical abilities help her are to help people who are already in romantic relationships live in harmony with each other. And her magic is strongest for people who already cohabitate in the same house. In voodoo magic, we use Freda to bind women to men, and we use her energy to help people who have no love connection to each other. So if you encounter somebody and y'all have no relationship with each other whatsoever, Freda will build that relationship, help you to develop that relationship or to attract that person. Freda, because she is so feminine and so submissive and so Venusian, her energy is strongest in homes where the women are peaceful, and also when they are submissive to their husbands. And and in addition to that, the husbands have to obey their wives. So Freda, her energy is going to be strongest when the wife is submissive and when the husband is obedient to the wife. Now, when Freda mounts someone, she's going to be accompanied by two men. She's typically going to mount a woman or a gay man, and the two men represent Ogu and Gede. And those two men accompany and carry her because her feet must not touch the ground when she walks. She's a Loa. She's also the goddess of hygiene as well. So write that down. She's the goddess of hygiene. She likes cleanliness. During ceremonies, Freda will greet all the men in the temple, and during the ceremony, she does not greet the women. She is actually hostile towards the women because she's jealous of other women. And the women and women who stand closely to men are despised by Freda during ceremonies. She may attack the woman or try to remove the woman from the man's presence. Now, another thing that you all need to know is that Freda has two husbands, and they are Ogu and Agwe. She shares the same husband as Danthor, her sister, which is Ogu, and they fight a lot about that. When two women and share the same man in Haiti, the Creole word is called matlot, 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 matlot. There's a lot of matlots that are watching this sermon right now. Y'all share the same man. Now, Freda and Danthor are sisters because their energies complement each other. They're not like actual biological sisters, but yeah. In some instances, Freda is said to be married to Dambala and Gede Nebo, but primarily you're going to see that people will say that Freda's connected to Agwe. So Freda is she's the Loa of respect, love, and understanding. And you have to be very she's a protector of people that embody respect, love, and understanding. Freda is a very careful and meticulous deity. She's again fragile and tender in her intentions. When you see images of Freda or any altars of Freda, any ceremonies dealing with Freda, you're going to see things being bejeweled, powdered, perfumed, dressed in luxurious satin and lace. And you'll find that she mounts people that are perfumed and well dressed during ceremony. She has the magical ability to cause people who already live together to live in harmony. So if you there's a lot of discord in your home, even though Freda doesn't respect it, she'll come in and help bring harmony to the home. She does not like dysfunction. Freda works best with couples who are already committed to each other and living together. And when we look at the Veve for Freda, we see another heart. And this heart has lace and curly hues in it and flowers as well. And those flowers and curly hues are all used to pattern her feminine nature and to reinforce that she's the patron of everything that's beautiful and gorgeous. And so you have these two Loa, Freda and Danthor. Okay. And they both have different patronages. But what's similar about them are that they are both feminine representations of what it means to be Haitian. And it leads me into and the mythology behind Freda and Danthor not getting along, or that you can't serve the two of them, leads me into this portion of my sermon, which is, what about your friends? And for those of you all that are listening, I'm talking about the women that can't make friends with other women, and men that can't seem to be friends with other women without screwing them, and male priests that can't seem to teach women without fucking them either. So what about your friends? What you'll find out from Freda and Danthor's beef is that friends fall out over two things: niggas and money. Okay? Women fall out over niggas and money. They make money together, get betrayed over $100, don't want to fuck with each other, or somebody starts dating the wrong person, a friend starts inserting their opinion into some shit, they're not friends anymore. Okay? That's always what it's about. Niggas and money. Either she ain't got money and she can't buy this, and she needs to have this, and she doesn't have this sort of status, and she's beneath me, or she's not on my level, or she's not going here. And sometimes it is good to be money oriented, status oriented, and to be upwardly mobile. But I'm not talking about that today. I'm talking about women who use money and status to create divisions amongst other women, or to try to alienate themselves or other themselves, and pretend like they don't endure the same societal tribulations that other women endure. So this leads me into this. In order for you all to improve y'all's relationships, keep y'all's business to y'allself. Now, Danthor and Freda are fucking the same man, and they should learn how to keep their business to themselves. But I wonder if it's a messy ass nigga that's running back and forth between the two of them, keeping the shit up. And if both of them are too dick dumb to sit here and realize, like, shit, we both getting played. But guess what? They love men. and they love money. Danthor loved money, and Freda loved money. Freda loved abundance, and Danthor loved getting to the money through her hard work. Okay, you have somebody that knows how to create social networks and someone that knows how to make money from social networks. Okay, but they're both the same energy, but neither one of them know how to keep their business to themselves. Now, so I leave you all with these words of wisdom. Don't talk to your friends about your money, and don't talk to your friends about your love life. Keep both of those things private. Your relationship with your man and your money is private, and the conditions under which you are happy with your man and your money should remain private as well. And you should only be transparent when you're talking to a financial advisor or an accountant about the improvement of those things, or a therapist about the improvement of those things. So Freda reminds us to figure out what abundance means for us, to find out how we deal with loneliness, and the best ways to do both of those things. So Freda feels like abundance is acquired through material things, through gold, through jewelry, nice perfumes, having nice shit, things that most American people would find to be grand, would find to be valuable in their lifestyles. Hell, we talking about Freda, an American, an African deity that came over here into the Americas, and now she's interested in capitalism, just like all of us. But guess what? Freda needs to learn how to collaborate with other women so that she can truly be a patron of beauty and love and attraction and all these other feminine industries that women are working in and notorious for helping to build. So Danthor asked the question, when we study Danthor, we have to ask ourselves the question, can we get along with other people? Because Danthor represents the independent Black woman, the woman that can do it all by herself, the woman that doesn't need a man to do anything for her. She represents the woman that will get out there and get it out the mud just like these men. And she will go out there and kill these white people before some of these Black men will. And she will protect herself and protect her sisters and protect young women and other Black women before these niggas will. That's Danthor. So Danthor asks us, can we get along with other people? Yes, Danthor, can you get along with other people? If you are the person that the only way that you can get along with other people is by saving them, something is wrong with you. If you are the only way that you can get along with other people is by being a strong person, something is wrong with you. If you don't know how to socialize with other individuals in a way that you can just be funny and charming and act on their level, then something's wrong with you. If the only way that you can get along with people is through helping them, through counseling them, through doing tarot readings, and your relationship is with your friendships are really through spirit, there's something wrong. You're not really in tune with that Danthor energy, because Danthor requires us to ask, do we have a social network that is manifesting and evolving? That's the next question. A lot of you all think that being healed is good enough. That's where you all are. Danthor thinks being healed is good enough. You know what? My sister cut me in the face. That bitch. Damn it, fuck her. I'm finna go out here and get this money. I'm healed. I'm done, and that's good enough. And guess what? Danthor comes to me and then she says, Huganzo, I don't have that many friends, and I'm okay with that. And I'm fine with that as long as I'm getting to the money. Bitch, that's not okay. That's not okay. How the fuck you ain't got no friends? You grown as fuck. You ain't got no friends. That's weird. That's weird bitch energy. That's not Danthor energy. You don't have any friends because there's no friend inside of you. You don't know how to be friends with people. Again, if the only times that you can be friends with somebody or you can get along with other people is when you're helping them, you have ego issues. And being healed isn't good enough. You need to be grown and evolving. And you need to be around other people that are grown and evolving. And Freda and Danthor need to be around each other so they can grow and evolve. Because both of them are fighting to be the center of attention. And that's another thing that tears friendships apart, especially with women. Ask yourself right now, are you the center of attention in your friendship? Raise your hand if you're the center of attention in your friendship. And take your hand and smack yourself across the fucking face, because that's not okay. Because you need to have friends that are focused on other shit like themselves. You should have friends that are focused on themselves. Now, this is not for the people that are grieving right now, and you need your friends. You need a support system, right? But you don't need all that attention. You don't need your friends to be to be fans of you. You don't even need them. You don't even need them to work for you, to be honest. You need employees. But again, are you the center of attention in your friendship? Or are you centering your attention right now in your life on friendship? And if you are centering your attention right now on friendship, what role are you playing in the relationship building process? There are too many of you all that come into groups of people and you sit there silent and reticent and you do more talking in your head than you do out loud, and people can telepathically hear it. You are an asshole. And you think that that's okay. You think it's okay to be that way, and it's not okay to be that way. You can't get along with other people. What about your friends? What about the friend in you? You're more friends with the ego in your head than the spirits that are actually around you, that are more reflective of the God that should be within you than the ego is sitting inside of your brain. Stop being a telepathic asshole. Start speaking up. Be a damn leader. Say something. Use your voice. Stop sitting. If you can get buck on social media, you can cut the fuck up in class. You can cut the fuck up at work. You can go into a bar and cut the fuck up. There's no reason you should not have friends. Freda is beautiful. And she got a lot of money. She got good pussy. She got a wet motherfucking pussy. She a water spirit. But what about her friends? Who she got to lean on? Who is her support system? Definitely ain't her sister. And what about Danthor bitter ass? What do you got to say about that? When you are a sour apple bitter bitch and all you do is drudge work, you have a reputation for being an unrelenting boss, a mean ass person. You are now Annalise Keating. You have a lot of money and no friends and all these secrets and nobody to share none of this with. And it will deteriorate you from the inside. So now I ask you, do you have any friends? Raise your hand if you have friends. And if you do have friends, look at all the other people that did not raise their hand. Do not be friends with those people until they work on themselves. Because those people will be telepathically combative with you. Those people will pick issues with you because you are either focused on your man or you focused on your money. And that is a sermon.
Cool, Gonzo. Thank you so very much for that. I think many of us needed to hear that today, because right now, Danthor and Freda are the prime examples of Black women in America. Either you're over masculine or you're over feminine. And it goes back to what the other readers, the ladies, have said in this group. Focus on you, listen to you. And the main question you're going to have to ask yourself, were you raised, did your mother, your father, your grandmother, whomever raised you, did they raise you to survive or did they love you? Because those people carry two different and separate energies. A survivalist will use you till they can't use you no more. And a person who's raised off love, if you get a survivalist, you gonna think you crazy and hate the world. Are you a woman over 35 still hollering about ain't no good men out here? Look at yourself. What you bring to the table. Do you speak life into that man you with, or do you speak death? Are you more worried about when you wake up in the morning saying grand risings to somebody or praying for your man when he walk out the door to make sure he's protected, to give him life, to give him strength? Or as soon as he wake up in the morning, you nag and talking about you ain't no good. What bitch you just called? You trying to go through his phone. Check your behaviors. Are you the side chick? What you holler about ain't all men cheat? Maybe all of them cheat because you a side chick and you participate in the behavior. These are questions you need to ask yourself why you experiencing what you're experiencing. Nobody wants a headache at home. If you have no friends, that's a problem. You need to find stability in your life. You need to find where you're out of focus. And again, going back to earlier readings, work with your ancestors. And when you work with them, listen. Listen. And the main thing is a lot of y'all chasing dudes who still trying to be community activists, being community dick. He is not ready for private practice. And when he is, you ain't that woman. You really a placeholder. So quit allowing your relationships to become spoiled milk and dealing with it well past its expiration date. Because that creates an angry individual. That creates angry energy. Learn the space and the roles in which you need to allow in. So now we're going to remind you to do your love offering, because again, you all have received a word today. Hugonzo has taken the time out to present us with this information, which many of us needed to hear. Not only hear, but you need to take it in and listen to it and digest it and make some changes in your life. And where you can do your love offering is through Cash App, and that's $ Quintarius Shakir. That is QUINTARRIUSSHAKIR. And again, you can look in the bottom left corner of your screen. The name is spelled out there, but again, in Cash App, it'll be all one word with the $ in front. And we are calling you all to mentorship, traditional mentorship. Again, it's only so far that the free programs can take you. It's a good start to get your feet wet, but to really transition and learn what you need to know, you're going to have to invest in yourself. Quit being cheap. Stop having a user's mentality. Again, be grateful for what you have. And if you're in a free program, you should know how to manifest some money by now. Because I know you have done some white candle work. So you should know how to do some manifestation to pay for a mentorship program. So again, we call you to mentorship. We have 3 mentorship programs. You can either mentor under Hugonzo for Haitian Vodou route. You can mentor under Priestess Oshun Funke for the Ifa route. Or you can mentor under Priestess Peach Blossom to get more in tune and practice hoodoo. So again, we call you to move forward in traditional mentorship. And again, there's always people to help you at Black Spectrum Network, one way or the other. And we're going to go back through the announcements really quickly for those who came in late and need to hear the following information. Again, the first and third Sunday of the month, we have Oshe Ifa that is presented by Priestess Oshun Funke, which teaches you about Ifa in the Yoruba culture And again, when you attend with cola nut present, gin, and your love offering. The School of African Magic is up and running. Their website is schoolofafricanmagic.com. There are hundreds of hours of free content and content that you can pay for. And some examples of that content is magical herbalism, prayer crafting classes, learning about the Orisha, the Loa, and so much more. The Black Spectrum Network and the Vodou Institute websites are up and running. You can go there to purchase your ancestral life path reading or life path reading or full moon readings. Again, that's blackspectrumnetwork.com and voodooinstitute.com. Again, many of you need to go get that life path readings because you're not listening to your ancestors on your own. So maybe through the guidance of others, you can get in the right direction. And again, lastly, coming up this Sunday, March 21st, Monze Say is having a free divination course that will start at 7 p.m. Eastern. You will divine using the 7-card spread. You will receive hands-on assistance. And you can join this class by going to blackspectrumnetwork.com/course. And this will be available on the replay. But again, like I said, Monze Say is very knowledgeable. You will learn a lot, and I will attest to that. She knows her stuff. So those are the announcements. And we're going to go into closing with the words of our rapper Dreezy. Gave mercy to these hoes. What would Jesus do? Thanks you all. Thank you all for attending and again being here with us, because we know you could have been anywhere, but you chose to be here with us. We are grateful, we are appreciative, and we are here to help. Thanks, guys.